Okay, so we are going to build a page, build a website more or less, but we'll start with a page. So here's a page that I created. It's got some interesting things. One column section with an image, two column section with an image, three column section with buttons, subscribe form, calendars. Now the goal in building a web page, you can see this sort of has a 1/3, and then this section's twice as wide, so it's a third, and then 2/3 here. This is all full width, two columns. One of the things we'll notice is that I'm going to trigger a mobile view simulating an iPhone 6. That when I see that same site, everything becomes vertical. The full width one column is just one column. The two columns stack. The three columns also stack. Everything stacks vertically, and I can show you that. If I go to responsive view, this allows me to fluid change the screen size. Somewhere's in here, right around 860, should be what, 767, 760, somewhere's in here, yeah, 768, 7. The three columns, when it gets narrower than that, suddenly jump down to where everything's vertically scrolling all the way down to even a phone. So the reason I show you that is so you'll understand when you're building things that whenever you put in two columns or three columns, on mobile those things are going to be stacked vertically. So if this thing should appear to the left or right and you don't care, but on mobile you want this thing to be first before that, that'll be important to make sure you just understand how they're going to stack in mobile. Okay, so let's build a page. So what I'm going to do is hit new right here. Um, and I want to build a page. So you're familiar with the back end of WordPress. We got a bunch of pages here, but let's just build a new page so we have a clean way of learning how the page builder works. I have a title. I'm going to call this test. I have a default template. That means it's going to be the page with the sidebar down the side. I don't want that. I want to go with a full width page. In other words, I just want a full width. I don't want a sidebar. I'm going to hit publish. I'm going to do that because I can look at this page now and see that this is the site header. This is my blank page. I'm ready to go here. I got nothing going right now. If I wanted to use the visual regular editor in WordPress, I could type in stuff. I could make this a heading pair. I could make this, bold, and then I'd have to add a picture for the media library. So I'd add some glasses, and I'd pick the size, thumbnail, alignment left, and that would go in there, and I'd hit update. And this is using the regular WordPress WYSIWYG editor. That's great, except what happens when I want those three columns? Well, then I might say, hey, this looks good. Give me another image here. I don't know, I can't even get the cursor to go down there. Well, then I should have two images side by side, right? That's what the editor looks like. I hit save. I go check my page. I do. Let's look at this on mobile. They do stack. So this works to some extent. I don't know, I can't get the third one there, and I really don't have any way to make a button. So I'm kind of limited as to what I can do with my greater point. And this is the code behind that, this code that it writes for you. But I'm stuck kind of not knowing a lot. Now I can learn the code, or I can learn to be really creative here and do other stuff. But I have taken the care to install a page builder for you. What that does is allows you to see. This will always come up because they want you to do the paid version. It goes away. Right here it tells you, here's our area. Drop in a row or module. So what I do is I start with add content. Row layouts. First thing I do, and let's just jump right into a 3-column layout. I drag a 3-column in here. Look at that. There I've got 3 spaces. I can change the column widths if I want. So if I don't really want them all equidistant, I can make them this way if I want. I can ditch one if I want. I could ditch all of them if I want by hitting the X. But we're going to start out with row layouts 3 columns, because this is a very common thing that happens on websites is you see the 3-column layout. I'm going to decide that I'm going to put a text editor. Oops, sorry. Text editor. I'm going to drag that in here. I have that similar editor now, just like you saw before. So if I want to have a title, I could say, here's title 1 for box 1. I can highlight that, and I can use a header tag. Probably an H1's a little too big, so I use an H2. I want that centered. There it is. There's a title. Now, the other thing I can do is I can clone that. I hit copy, and now I can basically drag my copy of this over here. I hit copy again. I can drag one over here. Now I've got one in each place. I can hit the wrench, because obviously this is going to be title 2. Title 3. Now the other thing I'd like to do here is I'd like to have, I've got some choices, but I've also got these advanced modules are paid, so we don't have access to anything there. But I do have these UABB modules. So here's a place where I've got things like icons. I can drag an icon in here. I don't want the mail, I want a different icon. This is going to be I don't know, something, a map. Okay, so I can put the map icon in there. I've got my map icon. I can control things in that icon. I can do a background, like a square background. And when I select it, it actually shows you. There's some color presets that are here. 1 and 2. I don't know, yellow's fine. Probably should do, I'd rather have a red background, so we'll do it in red. So I can change a lot of stuff in here. Advanced we'll come back to. Okay, so there's my icon. I think I'll do the same thing here. I think I'll add a different icon here. Mail is fine. I want that square background. That's what we're going to do to match. Background color should be red, so it matches. Because everything's going to match. Any customer will tell you that. Image icon. And what else would be fun? How about some editing stuff? And again, square background. Background color is red. Okay, so there we go. We got a nice. Now the last thing I'll do is, what else can we do for fun here? We can do I'll do a ribbon. Stitching, I do not want stitching. Shadow, hey, why not? So that's a little weird looking. Let's just give this a number 1. Alright, we'll clone that sucker. We'll grab it on over here. And we'll call this one a number 2. And we'll clone that one. And we'll drag this one over here. I could have done this with the icons too. I could have cloned and rewritten if I wanted to. But okay, so there we have And when I'm done, I'm going to click Done, Publish Changes. Now the other thing is, in case this automatically gives me a look at what I want here. It tells me right what I got. Okay, that's perfect. I'm going to inspect this and throw it into mobile responsive. Now this is a little weird because obviously this ribbon deal is not too happy and narrow. But it's mobile responsive. I mean, the whole thing works. If I want to decide that ribbon was a pretty bad idea, I can just go back to Page Builder. And I can say, you know what, that's got to go. That's awful. 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 And what I should have done is I should have used a photo. Would have been much more attractive, so I will do that. My photo source is the media library. I'm going to select a photo from the media library. I'll take that. I can align it center. I can crop it. I can do things to it. I can make it a circle, I guess. It'll be fun. Save. Doesn't look like a circle to me. Let's see if it ends up being a circle. Doesn't look like it's going to be a circle. I'll publish it to see if that doesn't change things, but I don't think so. No circle. Well, that doesn't work. Anyway, for the most part it works though. I mean, you end up with 3 images. None just gives me the original picture, which a lot of times can work just as well. So here's a cool thing we'll do also, now that I've done that, is sometimes you'll see when you scroll into a site that things are animated a little bit. This allows you to, the advanced tab on anything. Let me get rid of cancel. The advanced tab on any of these things allows you to do some different things. One of the things is decide what margins you want. I almost never would do that. Display. This says, you know what, only on a phone, like a small device, do I want this to show up. Or only on large screen. So I can control where, on what device this thing shows up. It'll hide it if not. Visibility, I can show for logged in users only, or, logged out users, or always, or never. Animation's kind of fun. So I could do a fade in. Let's put 1 second there. Publish that. And you can see it took 1 second for that picture to fade in when I loaded the page. I'll reload the page again so you can see it. Okay, kind of interesting. One of the common effects used a lot today is to go to advanced and have the slide left, 0.5 maybe. On this one I'll do advanced animation, slide right, 0.5 seconds, save. On this one I will do advanced animation style, slide down, 0.5 seconds, save. I'm going to publish that. We reload the page. We're going to notice that on that page load, they all have their own way of animating. So that's kind of cool sometimes. People like that. It's not the end of the world. But, again, on mobile, these 3 Very nicely all drop in to vertical. Okay, so we got this going here, but obviously pages have a lot of text on them a lot of times. So one of the first things you're likely to do is just take a nice one column row and put that above all this. And then a text editor. And I can grab some dummy text here from our friends at Bacon Ipsum. Where was I? This is old. And I can put that text right in here and hit save and publish that up. So now if I was creating this for a client, I would say, here you go, client, here's your site, this is the test page, this is the copy you gave me, these are the images you gave me, the icons, all this funky stuff is in here. Maybe they say I also want a button in there as well, so I can take, you know what, let's do this. I'll throw another 2-column unit in there, and I'll go grab some buttons. I'll throw a button in here. This one says buy now, and add content. And this one will be buy later. Style, flat, gradient. So gradient, I'll show you the difference. This one's got a little more, it's got like a shading to it. There's some other styles in here. Transparent. So that gives us this kind of hollow button. And the last one is 3D. Which kind of adds this shadow to it. Flat's pretty popular these days. Flat design is a simple thing that a lot of people are using. Typography, so we can change font families in here if we want to have some weird font, I guess. You know, we got the weird font. Anyway, I'm done. Posters changed. Great, now we got buttons. So the client says, yep, that's what I wanted. I wanted the thing, the buy now, buy later, all that stuff. The problem is these buttons, as I hover over one, I can actually see the link is revealed down below. It's the full URL, demo, test, and then the hashtag sign, which in code means go nowhere. So they don't do anything, they just stay right here on the same page. We want them to go somewhere. That's why the client hired us, is to make a button that actually works. So if I open this thing up again, one of the first things is link. There it is. So if I can go to http://toddcan.com, that'll be great. This one should go somewhere also. So this one will go to google.com. I'm not sure if we need the HTTP business. Link target, new window, kind of important. So the difference is link in the same window takes this site, and I click on this, and I leave that site, and I go here. What I want to do a lot of times is maybe I say, you know what, I don't want to leave this site. What I want to do is when I click on this, I want to open a new tab and go someplace else. Now, google.com didn't work, so there's our answer. There is that the link needs to be a properly formatted link. It needs to be http://google.com. And that should work. So now when this thing loads up again, pretty animation, I go to Google. Okay, so open a new tab. I went to Google. Did not leave the site. Open a new tab. Link works to Google. So now we have buttons that go someplace. We have pictures, we have stuff, we have text, and we can build up web pages all day long using pretty stuff. So I'll wrap this one up with that.